we are training members from the Environmental and Historic Preservation cadre on how to save family treasures. And it's not necessarily their treasures, it's the treasures that belong to individuals and families. So we are working with them to learn how to staff a disaster recovery center to be able to provide this service to the public. So what happens when a disaster occurs? Flooding occurs, a hurricane occurs. The materials that mean the most to them are often the things that they are most sad to part with. So what we'd like to do with this program is enable and empower individuals to save the things that matter the most to them. They might not have any monetary value, but they're certainly sentimental. And so we train these cadre members to be able to work with the public to find out what they might have that could possibly be saved.
Getting this collection care specialty class under my belt is very important for me. As a Hurricane Harvey survivor back in 2017, I personally witnessed the destruction firsthand of what happened to my keepsakes, my personal items, my family's items, and seeing most of it destroyed from what at that time and place was beyond, repair. Losing books, losing photos, losing clothing, important Afghans that your family makes, quilts and things like that. When you see something like that and you have to return to that devastation and look at that, you wonder if any piece of you that created who you are today is salvageable. It's very important for me to learn that, because when you do take these types of courses, it really teaches you and informs you and instructs you on how to be your own hero, and not just for yourself but for the communities that you're trying to help.
Our family treasures, our heirlooms, they represent our family, they represent our identity. It's where they come from. And after the immediate necessities are taken care of after a disaster, food, water, and shelter, we're naturally going to be inclined into figuring out how we can save those pieces of our family, of our identity, because it's those that are going to help us recover into the future.
The thing that I like the most about this training and that stood out is the hands-on approach. One of the best ways for me to learn personally is to be able to go out there and practice what I preach. So for me to be able to work hands-on with these items and with the photographs and books, I feel it's going to help teach in the future, help teach disaster survivors how best to handle the materials themselves. For me personally, I do a lot of archaeology and worked previously with a lot of historic artifacts. So to be able to help preserve heirlooms, which are very important to a lot of the disaster survivors, I feel almost an obligation to help them preserve those things, to help save them, because those are the irreplaceables. They're the things that you can't replace. Items and furniture, they can eventually be replaced, but photographs, keepsakes, they're things that hold significant sentimental value.
So we have an opportunity to save the cultural heritage that matters to all of us, whether it's at the local level, the state level, whether it's a federal or a national resource. We want to make sure that what defines us as Americans is saved for future generations.